Hey everybody, I'm doing my book review for The Fire Next Time by James Baldwin. It contained two essays, which one was titled My Dungeon Shook, Letter to My Nephew, and the 100th Anniversary of the Emancipation. And the second half of the book, was titled Down at the Cross, Letter from a Region of Mine. The first letter to his nephew, the author just describes his unconditional love for his nephew. In that letter, he also told his nephew about all the craziness that society has to offer him when he gets older. So, he just let him know, you guys know how to deal with people that's different from you and people not liking you because maybe your skin color, where you're from, and all that. So, he just really was frustrated with white people, basically, and how he felt that white people were scared to see black people doing good or actually trying to become a better race. The author ends his poem by giving his nephew words of encouragement. He tells his nephew to face his challenges head on and that he'll meet some of the challenges with love and compassion, which was kind of a little funny to me, just because the whole poem he just expressed his anger towards white people or people that were different from him that gave him a lot of flack about being black. So that was just me just seeing that part. It just kind of had me a little confused. So the second half of the book, The Dungeon Down at the Cross, Letter from a Region in My Mind, the first thing that caught my attention was the quote by Rudyard Kipling, the author, a British author. And the quote just simply stated, "Take up the white man's burdens." It just caught my eye. It's just a very strong word, especially now since there's a lot of racial things going on in the world, and it just kind of hit me, like, why would he say that, and try to get a better understanding of that. So, in this poem, the author just talks about how he experienced Christianity. First, he describes him at a younger age, and how he just comes from two points of view, a black cultural point of view and his own personal points of view. So the first part is, I just like how he described how he met the woman pastor. The way she greeted him, he felt like she greeted him like a pimp or just a regular person off the street, because she asked him, "Whose boy are you?" And he just simply replied, "Yours." So I kind of like his reply, but that was his first experience with dealing with the church. He also addresses the time he got saved and how he got saved. And he felt the reason why he got saved because the black society made him feel guilty about being black. Well, how society in general just made him feel like being black was wrong, so he wanted to repent and sin for being black. So it was kind of I get it. The second part was how he said Christianity had failed him on different occasions, but he ended up finding it again when he overcame his addiction, and he found love, and he found that the truth is beyond him. He doesn't have to really understand it. It just happens. So I kind of like that perspective, because just like you breathe oxygen, you can't see it, so I kind of agree with him. I did some of the questions just because I know I put my own personal spin on the chapters and what I felt about each poem. So the first question I answered was, what do you believe was Baldwin's purpose? I believe Baldwin's purpose was to express how he feels about being black in the 1960s. He wanted blacks to be strong and that they could overcome anything that they put their mind to. They just have to respect themselves and their community and just do the best that they were able to do. My second question that I answered was, what did I learn from the book? Being black, I could just relate to a lot of things that he was saying. A lot of things have changed, but it really hasn't been that much accomplishment for black people in America. So I kind of just I know how to deal with it. And the book gives good advice and encouraging words on how to deal with it and how he wanted to overcome it and what we need to do as a nation, as Americans, to overcome this stigma that we have with different races. Question number 3 that I answered was, what impact did the reading have on you? I honestly really enjoyed the book. I can relate to a lot of different things he was saying, especially about Christianity and how I grew up being raised in the church all the time since I was a kid. And sometimes you just feel like the Lord is never listening, or he's just, good things happen to bad people. We never really know it's life lessons that is happening, and just try to overcome everything. So I really enjoyed this book, and it got an impact on me, and it has me feeling about my race. Christianity has me thinking about a lot of different things. Question 4, do you agree or disagree with Mr. Baldwin's assessment? Like I stated earlier, I just agree with him just because I feel like I can relate to a lot of encounters that I had being African American, especially a woman. I just, try to stay positive and try to be successful, because I know all people do not have that type of hatred in their heart. A lot of people get along that are different races, so the times is changing in America. My final question that I answered was, what solutions does he offer to end America's racial divide? To me, I felt Baldwin was all about all America, all Americans. We can all exist living among each other by working from a good place, achieving goals, and having the same respect for one another. Respect goes a long ways, and I know he mentioned that a couple times in the book. He also wanted to let white people know that they have to take accountability for their oppressive actions towards a certain group or a certain race of people. He also tells black people that they have to respect themselves and their community, which is some black people do and some don't. It's just a work in progress. And if we could do those two things, America could become successful. It could become fully integrated, and we could all it's a free country, like as it was intended to be. So that was pretty much it. I really did enjoy the book. I learned a lot. I feel like some things have changed, some things haven't. It's still like a work in progress, dealing with different races and trying to get along with other people that are different from you. But overall, I really enjoyed the book, so I recommend it to a lot of other people.